Hello again. I had to actually go off and come back so that I can actually confirm if I'm connected. Seems like YouTube had cut me off while I was talking. Anyway, I'm not gonna cut the first part. I'm just gonna continue with it. So, like I'm saying, in the Premier League show, we have some talking points. We cover each and every week, looking at whatever that we have to deal with in terms of the things that have been happening during that week, or whatever that has happened in the Premier League as a whole. So we will be doing this almost each and every time. So you might want to always be checking this one out because there'll be some interesting talking points, and you can also do something for me. You can always give your own talking points in the comment section that you want us to cover in the next show so that we talk as much as we can about what is happening in the Premier League. And the interesting part about this, we cover each and every club that we feel as the fans that we need to talk about the club, because a lot of things are happening. So as much as we cover those things, it will actually make it easy for us to know what's happening here. So like I said, the first talking point we have today on the Premier League show, the first one is this. We are talking about Leicester City and Tottenham. So why did I choose Leicester City and Tottenham? I just wanted to remind some people something. If you remember, 2016 ended like this. I don't know if anyone remembers this. 2016 ended like this. It ended where Leicester City were on top and Tottenham were number two. So, of course, we've been talking about how this season is different from any other season. It seems like we are gonna be having the same situation happening again this season, that we are gonna have some things that are gonna be pretty familiar. But the only difference with this season with the last season is that there's no Arsenal, because Arsenal in that season finished number 3 in 2016, if I remember so well. They finished in I think it was number 16. It was number 3. But this time it's a different Arsenal, so you never know what they bring. But anyway, like I'm talking, they've been so good, these two teams. Leicester City had some time to prove it, and the games that they played, especially the game they played against Manchester City, where they beat them by 5 goals to, was it 5 goals to one or something? Yes, by 5 goals to one. Then also the game that they played against Leeds United. It was the other game that actually proved to the world that this team, if you are not going to look forward to it, these guys are title contenders. And as much as all the big teams have gone back to sleep, when I talk of big teams, I'm talking of course, City and Liverpool, that have been the biggest teams that people were actually afraid of it to play with. But at the moment, they've gone so low. So I don't think there's any fear now in the eyes of teams like Leicester City, Tottenham to actually go for the crown, because there are a lot of things that are happening. So, like I'm trying to say is this: Leicester City, as we speak right now. Hello, Mr. Elliot. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. Tell me your thoughts. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, it's been a long time since I talked to Mr. Elliot. Mr. Anthony, thank God you're still connected. There was a problem. I had to restart this stream, but I think it's okay now. So, like I'm saying, it has been amazing to see what Leicester has been doing. It really amazing. If you're a football fan, not talking about the club you support, like of course you know that I'm a Liverpool fan. I know that Mr. Elliot is a Tottenham fan, and I know that Mr. Anthony is a Southampton fan. So just talking football base exactly, these guys have been amazing in terms of how they are playing their games. Of course, they lose some game. I'm gonna show you the league in just few moments as I'm finished working with putting a thumbnail because it was removed. But they've been amazing, and with the way the season is like this season, and the way the big clubs are just quiet, you can't even see Arsenal at all. Manchester United, you just don't know what they bring to you. Manchester City, it's no longer as scary as people were afraid with, as people were like afraid of. And talking about my team, Liverpool, well, injuries are happening each and every day. Like, it's actually like something that people can now make fun of. So that gives time to all the people who are watching this game from just a point of view of like of these teams that were being taken like they're not there to compete for anything. This gives them that belief that they can actually get something. And definitely with the way the league is going, they will actually get something. That is for sure. They'll actually get something. So it is going to be interesting to see who actually wins the league at the end of the season. It's going to be interesting. But the interesting part that we have all noticed is this. Both these teams that are on the top four, let me just say on the top four, they are all contenders. That is a fact. They are all contenders to get something here. I have been gone from the channel for a bit, and I see you are getting more views. I'm good, Mr. Elliot. Hey, it's been a long time. I was wondering where you are. It's been a long time, eh? But how's everything going though? It seems like your team they have this new fire that is burning in them, and it's just amazing to see. It's been amazing to see how your team has been performing, and I hope that with the Gareth Bale, with the Reguilon, and the way they're playing, this feeling continues. That's what I'm hoping. I'm just hoping that this feelings continues, but we'll see. We'll see. There's still a lot of things to see about your team. So, which also brings back me straight to your team. That's the second team that I wanted to talk about in this list, which is Tottenham Hotspurs. So, Tottenham Hotspurs, I just don't know. We watched the first game. I remember, guys, we watched the first game where they played against Everton, and they looked like they were really not there. Either way, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City will win the league. We'll see. We'll see, Mr. Anthony. We'll see if they will win the league. But anyway, like I'm saying, we watched the first game, and it was like we actually cancelled them out. But since the Southampton game, from then up to now, I have no idea what has happened to Tottenham. They just developed this interesting strength that they have, and it's actually scary to play against Tottenham at the moment, which is funny because it is the next candidate. Manchester City are the next candidate of this team, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I've loved football the most this year, and I've started my own podcast to open it, and especially how Spurs speak. Oh yeah, yeah. It seems like things are going so well, eh? Yes, I've noticed that one as well. It seems like Chelsea are real contenders. That is a fact. That is definitely a fact. But I don't want to count these two teams that are up front, Leicester and Tottenham. Do you know that in all the teams that Leeds United faced this season, Leicester was the first team to actually put them at their place, to remind them that they're just coming from the like the championship. If it wasn't of that, nobody was going to do so. So it's interesting to see what's happening. It's gonna be amazing to see because football is becoming so amazing, guys. It's actually scary because I'm actually afraid in terms of how my team has been performing and how much we are losing players every time. So those two teams, like I just said, Leicester and Tottenham, watch them. Also, we talk about Southampton very, very soon because I have some things that I want to tell you guys. So, okay, nextly, it's also Southampton is also the other team that people were taking for granted, and now they've just picked up in this form, and it's actually scary to see what they're doing right now. Especially that my team is the team that is is retaining the title. We are actually fearing that we might lose this. We might lose this title. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens anyway. But I'm hoping for the best for my team. I'm hoping for the best. But these three teams are actually scary. And did you know something? It was yeah, true that. I'm actually scared of especially Kane and Son. Those guys are dangerous. I think Welber is the most underrated player so far this season. Probably the best signing so far. Your thoughts on the best on the best transfers. In terms of the best transfer for Tottenham, I have to tell you, I actually rate. I don't know why I rate Reguilon to be more than Welbeck, but all of them they have been so good for your team. And Matt Doherty started a little bit low, but he's showing that they're there. I actually have no problem with all the signings that Tottenham did this season. It's actually fun. I actually have no problem with your front threes because with all the signings that you did, because all of them they are contributing when they are needed. Welbeck is fighting as a holding midfielder in the middle, and also Sergio Reguilon is just running like Andy Robertson from the corner, setting balls for either Gareth Bale, Kane, or Son. And can you believe what Jose Mourinho introduced in Harry Kane? He made Harry Kane a false nine, guys. Harry Kane is dangerous when he's distributing balls, and we have seen this season, and it's going to continue. That is exactly what I'm afraid of with Tottenham. That's why I'm saying that this team is actually dangerous to watch what's going to happen this season in terms of how he is distributing the ball and how he's setting up for his team. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I will keep a closer look on it. Please, guys, do me a favor. If you're just joining, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel. That is the best way you support us here at the Football Connect. And like what Mr. Anthony just said, I'm afraid of what? Your front three. Because the truth is that as well, I am actually afraid of your front three. It's scary. As soon as a bell clicks, it will be amazing. I'm smiling so much trying to type this. Yeah. One thing that I told, if you remember the last time when you're here, I told you as much as people hate Mourinho, Mourinho is a winner. He can create a best team for a season and win something with the team. Then some things comes and maybe he'll mess up somehow, somewhere. But one thing that I know about Mourinho, he'll definitely win something for you this season. In terms of how he's doing his things, he will definitely win you something for this season. Which team do you think will get relegated this season? One of the teams that will get relegated this season, for me, it's already down in the talking points there. If you check it, it's already there. Because they're just not showing any consistency, or they're just not showing like they're interested in playing this season. So I feel like they're going to be relegated. So we'll see. So that's one thing that I have to say about Tottenham. It's been so good. We'll see. We'll see. So anyway, like I was saying, Southampton. Danny Ings, I believe he'll be back the next game they play. By the way, Anthony, I've predicted Southampton to be 8th. The manager is exciting, and I think he will be great for a move to a big team like... I don't think he will go to United. At the same time, I don't think Southampton will finish 8th. I don't think so. With the way the teams are playing this season, I don't see that one being a reality. That will never happen. That, I'm telling you, things will happen. You actually be shocked. I don't think so. There are some teams that are going to finish in the top 6 that the world were not even expecting. Because that is just the fact of the matter. I don't think it will actually happen, but let's give it time. You will see. You will see what I'm talking about. But we have a lot of things to cover. Let me just try to talk about what I wanted to say about Southampton. So, Southampton, they went on top of the Premier League this season for the first time since 1988. Did you know that, guys? History can be a funny thing, you know. Southampton went on top of the Premier League this season since 1988. That is just crazy. And with the way they are playing, they're going to do amazing things as a club, and they're going to surprise you each and every time. Because one thing that I've seen from them, they are not afraid this season. They are seeing that the league is open and they can get something. And they will get something if they continue with this performance. They will definitely get something if they continue with this performance. That is for sure. But anyway, let me read what has been said here. Yeah, everyone's saying he was going to be sacked after the 9-0 loss to Leicester, and they quickly turned it around. That is That is one thing that I respected about your team. You know that you were fighting relegation last season, but look at how you have come transformed this season. It's gonna be amazing to see what your team does this season. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to see what happens with Southampton, cause there's a lot of things that are gonna happen. That's why I'm not. I don't wanna take it. I don't wanna see my. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think Southampton will be at number 8 or even around the 13th, 14th, because some of the big teams like Arsenal, for examples, I think they've already covered those spaces already in terms of how what their performance is like. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens anyway. But one thing I want to tell you guys, Southampton, don't count them out at all. So Tottenham, Leicester, Southampton, those are the teams that people should be afraid of, with the Chelsea also included in the list. With the Chelsea also included in the list. I feel like people should not count those teams out at all. That would be a terrible, terrible mistake you ever do. That is a fact. So, let me see what else am I forgetting to talk about Southampton. I will try. I will do so because remember we still have no Premier League, so there will be another show next week Tuesday for this. So I will cover again some of the clubs if I have more facts that I'll be picking up here. So the next team that I wanted to talk about is Arsenal. What the Christ is going on with Arsenal? What is really going on with Arsenal? I just don't know what's wrong with Arsenal. Week 7, we were all celebrating for them, happy that they've broken the history of beating Manchester United at Old Trafford for the first time since. Listen to this. Since let me just say, since 14 years ago. That was the last time Arsenal won at Old Trafford. 14 years ago. If he was a child who was born, he's already 13 or 14 at the moment. Since Arsenal beat United at their own home ground. Then this season they set up a good defense strategy. They win the game. And we were all shocked. I have to say for a fact I was shocked. I didn't expect to see that. Well, let me do this. I didn't expect to see that at all from Arsenal. But anyway, that's what they gave us. And it was exciting to see. Now, they play against Aston Villa. I'm laughing at Mr. Elliott's comment. Arsenal, what a joke. As good as Tottenham fan, I love it too. Wow. And what is going on with Ozil? He needs to start. So I tried to dig out a little bit more information about Ozil, and it was actually fun. So let me talk about it. Arsenal, I just don't know what's happening with them. You know, Liverpool lost to Aston Villa by 7 goals to 2, right? When we had a weird keeper for us. And as bad as our performance was, we were actually showing a sense of control in the game. Something that I didn't see in the game between Arsenal and Aston Villa. Arsenal were also manhandled the way Liverpool handled, like, controlled Arsenal when we played against them. So that posed to be a worry for some people. That posed to be a worry for some people because you don't expect a team. At least they should prove to us that they have something. They were so happy with this party movement. Did you hear the songs that people were busy singing, the party after party and whatever, all this nonsense that they were doing? It was all humbled by some Aston Villa players. It was crazy. There's definitely a picture. Let me try to check if I can actually get it. There's definitely a picture where it has been going all over social media where people were making fun of us now. They were saying that, how can I tell my children or my grandchildren about this? That Arsenal will actually score, that goal went in. When the whole team of Arsenal was in the 18 area. They were all in the 18 area ground. But by any chance, Aston Villa managed to score the goal. How? I have no idea. I have no idea. It's just crazy. So there'll be some shows that I'll be posting very very soon, maybe tomorrow or something, where I'll be reacting to some Arsenal fans who were doing watch-alongs over those games. It'll be crazy. I'll show you guys. Let me read you some of your comments here. Under Mourinho at Madrid. Okay, let's see. Okay, what's going on with Ozil? So with Ozil, this seems like Ozil and the new manager, they are not clicking so well. So that is the problem. I don't think we'll be seeing him anytime soon. That doesn't seem like it's gonna be happening anytime. Under Mourinho at Madrid, his stats were rivaling Messi, and yes, Ozil is a good creator, and for a fact, that is exactly what's missing in the Arsenal team. But at the same time, before we even talk about the creativeness of the team, Arsenal, they just don't have strikers. Do you know that for the past 4 games that Arsenal has played in the Premier League, Aubameyang's only shot on target was the penalty he scored against Manchester United? That is just exactly what is happening in the Premier League now. That is exactly what is happening in Arsenal. It seems like now I think we actually know what Arteta's role was at Pep Guardiola when he was with Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. He was like a defending coach. He understands to set his defense, but in terms of strikers attacking that part, he fails horribly. He fails. He's just not good at that. He's just not good. Because his team is good in defense, but they were destroyed by Aston Villa. So let me just say, maybe it's because that they had lost Partey, or maybe that they didn't have Luis. I just don't know. But they were destroyed by Aston Villa. Grealish made fun of them. And the worst part, what hurts the most about this Arsenal defeat, is that it was in their own home ground. That's what hurts the most. That they were embarrassed and they were manhandled in their own home ground. That is just unthinkable. That is just, you can't take that home and you can't be smiling with that. That is just crazy. No team should come and talk about control you at your own home ground. I know people are saying that there are no fans in the ground, so the home advantage is not working. But it is still your home. Some people had to travel to your home, but they were controlled. That was just crazy. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, how much is Ozil on as well, and he's not even playing? Oh, he's the second most paid player in the Arsenal team, Ozil, and he's not even playing. He's actually playing golf like what Gareth Bale was doing at Real Madrid. Harry Maguire has more shots this season than... That is 100% true. That is 100% true. In fact, Chelsea defenders have scored more goals than the whole Arsenal team. Can you be... Some stats that I'm seeing this season, guys, are just crazy. Chelsea defenders have scored more goals than the Arsenal team. That's how bad Arsenal have become. I don't even know what's happening. I don't even know in Arsenal that I'm supposed to be expecting every game they go play. Ozil has not been liked by 3 managers now. There must be something else. The reason he is not... Yeah, let me tell you what happened with Ozil. Under Unai Emery, there was some fights with the manager. Yes. Then, are there 3 managers or there are 2? It was Emery and who? Who was there before Emery? I'm forgetting that. But under one thing that I noticed, under Unai Emery, there was no love between Ozil and Unai Emery. But exactly after this guy, when Arteta came, he tried. I think we did see that the last season when we opened. He really did try. And hello, Mr. Lewis. How are you? How are you? We are just talking about interesting stories. You can check some talking points that are there in the descriptions of what we are covering. We are just talking about all the teams, what has been happening in the Premier League here. So like we were saying, so now under Arteta, he just came, and I just don't know what was happening with him. He was just not there. That is just the fact of the matter. He was just not there, and it's just crazy to see what's happening. But we'll definitely be watching. That is the fact. Harry Maguire is so bad for 80 million, and About Harry Maguire, you know, one thing I feel about him is that maybe sometimes it's like maybe we've attacked him as much as we've attacked him a lot as the fans, or maybe as the rival fans. But at the same time, I believe that there's still hope in the man. Little hope. I believe he can rise, if especially in terms of how he's playing. I don't know. Mr. Lewis is a Manchester United fan. Maybe he can defend his defender more than I just tried to do here. Anyway, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Antonio, for this. He said, yeah, you see, don't bully Harry. Exactly, that's what I was expecting to hear from you. We are not bullying Harry as such. He's just trying to give his opinion in terms of how. But like we were saying this, gaining subscribers day by day. Keep going. Thank you very much. I just saw your comment on the other video that just cut, Mr. Lewis. Thank you very much for that. So it's just crazy. We just don't know what's happening. That's just the fact of the matter. We just don't know what's happening with this Arsenal team. But one thing that we now know about their manager, their current manager, is that the manager was a defender coach when he was at Manchester City. Because when he left Manchester City, they struggled in defense. And when he came to Arsenal, they became so amazing in terms of their defense. That is just the fact. But they had not yet met teams like Aston Villa, who can embarrass you while you are trying to defend is so deep like they were trying to do. That is exactly what has happened. So it's crazy. It's just crazy. We'll wait and see. Everyone is talking about Maguire, but Arsenal paid 72 million for Nicolas Pepe. But you know, as bad as Pepe has been since he has been at Arsenal, this current weeks, like this past weeks, he has been on form, but he's just not getting a jersey for no reason. I have no idea why he's not getting a jersey. I try to understand what is happening with this team. Why is he not getting a jersey? He's playing so good. Why is he not getting a jersey? But guess what? Arteta prefers to put a veteran who came from Chelsea in William, who's out of form, and hope that he creates magic out of the game that they were playing. William on that game, he was not even playing. And he puts Nicolas Pepe when things were already, when the momentum or the confidence that the team had was already destroyed. That is exactly what happened there. So, I just don't know. I literally just don't know. It's crazy. I see that Mr. Lewis is complaining about something here. He's saying utter crap. Earlier, we both really know. Yeah, they were both really bad signings. Or both Maguire and Pep. I don't know. Something just does. There's just this thing to me that I believe that as much as we have already counted off Maguire, and as much, one thing that I felt like that affected Maguire is the pressure that people were putting onto him, and I believe he can change. But as for Pepe, I don't know. It's about the manager's trust, and it's always weird for a defensive manager to try to know the best strikers to pick in the team. Maybe it will change. I just don't know. But Arsenal at the moment are not the team that we're used to. That is just a fact. They're not the team that we're used to. Let me read the other comment. But it's fun how managers keep putting trust in him. He messed up every time. Everyone lost hope in Pepe now. So it's, yeah, that is the, in fact, it's fun how though the Arsenal fans put so much hope in him. I don't want to undermine him because he did win a cup, unlike other managers we know. He did win a cup in the FA Cup. But come on. I'm not seeing him. I'm just not feeling him as a manager. Maybe let's give him time. It's just 8 games. Let's just say that it's just 8 games. I'll show you how many games he has lost in the last maybe 5 or 6 games. Anyway. Yes, Pepe has to start over Williams because he did return the managers by good faith by scoring, so he has to start. Harry was not a bad signing. He just makes mistake like a normal human being. But Pepe, but Pepe is just crap. Okay, I'll take that. Maybe that's what I'm saying. That maybe me as of me, I'm taking Harry Maguire, looking at how he was at Leicester City and until when he came to Arsenal. Maybe that's how I'm taking this to until he went to Manchester United. But as for Pepe, I never saw him. I don't watch French league, so I never saw him. So I only saw him when he was where when he was now at Arsenal, and he was not good for the past 2 seasons. Maybe he's now trying to be better now, or maybe the managers are not using him so well. I just don't know. Oh, Lazarus Scorpions go kick. Which one? Which one are you talking about, Mr. Anthony? Try to remind me that. So that's how it is. So let's talk about the. Let's move on to a big club now. A big club in some few years ago. Let's just say from some few years ago, because in general they are not a big club, but from some few years ago, they've been a big club. Let's talk about Manchester City. How? Oh, you should do that, and maybe I'll check it. I didn't see it. I want to see how it was. So, Manchester City's form. What can you say, guys? What can you say about Manchester City? Do you know that this is the first time I think that Phil Jones is the best center back in the league? Scored more goals against the guy than Messi. Okay, I you're talking about own goals, right? Yes, they have to be own goals. They have to be own goals, cause, hi, where is he now, Phil Jones? Where is he? Is he still at United? I'm not really sure. Wasn't he like loaned to Serie A or something? I don't know. I'd absolutely scream. I did see a video on YouTube where people were making fun of some situations that Phil Jones had to go through when he was playing, and some of them were funny, guys. I have to tell you, they were really, really funny. But anyway, that's just the fact of the matter. Sometimes you get some, sometimes you just don't get some. So, Manchester City's form. There's something wrong with that team, yo. They're just not playing like the team we are used to. Manchester City, for the past, I don't know, 6 or 7 games, they've only managed, for the past 5 or 6 games in the Premier League, they've only managed just to score one goal. One goal. And sometimes they win with that one goal, or they draw, or they actually lose games. Since the Leeds United game where they drew 1-1, they've only scored one goal in the Premier League. That's how bad Manchester United City have been. That's how bad they've been. Phil Jones is still here. Loads of money to sit. Oh, I didn't know. Why don't like? So you're telling me that now Oli is actually trusting the youngsters more than a veteran like Jones? He's a big defender. I still believe he's still a good defender. I don't know about you guys. Uh, Jones got 6 months injury in lockdown. How do you even do that? Wow. I really missed you a lot, Mr. Elliot. Things are happening in football. You never know. Things are happening in football. I think maybe that's one of the reasons why United didn't sign as many players as they wanted, because of the reason that there were still players who were just seated down and still getting paid. You see what I mean? Oh, I can't see the link, Mr. Anthony here. I can't see the link. Can you try to send it? Or maybe it's YouTube made it disappear or something. Oh, Mr. Lewis is saying that from the children's sit-ups. That's where Phil Jones got an injury. Oh my God, that is crazy. So, I don't know. One thing that is fun about what I've noticed in the Premier League, no any fans rate Manchester City. Do you know that? As much as they've been as a club, nobody rate them at all. Phil Jones is better than Messi. Prove me wrong. I'm not getting into that one. I'm walking away straight. It will never end, that one. But anyway, Manchester City, that's the end of them, right? Do you think Pep Guardiola is signing a new contract? Do you really think? Search the video. Phil Jones is a legend. I'll do that. I'll do that exactly after this video. I'll do that. Then I'll give you maybe a feedback tomorrow morning. I'll do that. But anyway, Manchester City. Do you think Pep Guardiola will sign a new contract? Like facing it, fair in fact. Do you think Pep Guardiola will sign a new contract? Because I don't see it. I don't see it. Why? I think he has met his competition. Oh, I did receive that. Everyone laughs at United, but De Bruyne's pen was at yeah, against Liverpool. That I deserve to laugh because if he had scored that goal, I would be in trouble as a Liverpool fan right now. That was a crazy. I think we can all agree that there's something wrong about this season. Something is just not right. Yes, Manchester City, what they did was spend money after money buying defenders. Do you know that Pep Guardiola has spent over 500 million, something like that? 500 million only on defenders. That's how crazy he has been spending as a manager. And is still not providing the Champions League. He wanted Messi. He wants Messi. He believes that if he has Messi, he can win something. Oh, it's over 400 million. Thank you for that. 400 million only on defenders. That's how crazy this thing has become. And we look at it, there's still nothing that is happening with Manchester City. They always are lucky every time whenever they go to the Champions League, get some easy group. Then when they enter the round of 16, they are knocked out. They were beaten by Lyon last season. Lyon, a team that we don't even rate. Like, they were actually number 7 in the French league at the time when they were beaten. That's how crazy it is. I think that Manchester City will offer him a long one, maybe 5 years, but he will need to move for his career to take a break with the things happening in his personal life. What is happening in his personal life, Mr. Elliot? Because I actually don't know what's happening in Pep Guardiola's life. What is happening in his personal life? Let's see. Oh, Man United did was to sit and watch people spend over money with 10 billion pounds in their pockets. The problem with your team in terms of transfers is the Glazers. The Glazers and the Edwards are just crazy. Together, they just don't make sense. I would spend 600 million to bring Phil Jones to Spurs. Mr. Elliot has a problem with Phil Jones, I tell you. He has a problem with Phil Jones. I think part of the reason why he's saying these things is because Tottenham beat Manchester United by 6-1. I think that's one of the reasons. Or maybe I'm lying, I just don't know. But I think one thing about United City, as much as we can make fun of them, they are just not that team at all. They're just not that team at all. During the pandemic, his mother died of COVID. Oh, yes, I heard that. And he was very close to her. I didn't want to make an assumption, and it is very upsetting, but he has looked down since it happened. Yes, nobody wants to lose a parent. That is so important, and I have to agree with that. Maybe that is exactly what happened there. That is a fact. I think that could be the reason that exactly affected him the most. The Glazers think of fishy and money. Yeah, it's crazy. But okay, in terms of Pep Guardiola, let me finish with the Pep Guardiola issue. Maybe that could be the reason. And the one thing that we have to actually tell you, what we have to say, for him to preserve his legacy as a manager or what he has achieved, I think it will be very good for him if he leaves the Premier League. As much as I've enjoyed Pep Guardiola in the Premier League, I don't think it was created for him. He came to a team that could actually give him billions to sign anyone he wants, but still cannot run the league like he has done in the German league, like he has done in the Spanish league. So maybe if he goes maybe to PSG or maybe to Juventus, he can run those clubs easy. Only his problem will be the Champions League, but we have to wait and see on that one. But anyway, I would also pay $8 and cheese and the sandwich to bring Jesse Lingard to Tottenham to be Phil Jones' centre back partner. Would you accept that, Lewis? Oh, I'm not for that one at all. The funny part is this. Okay, I think we are done with that one. Let's move on to the Liverpool. Liverpool as a club, Liverpool injury problems. If you watch the video that I did just a few minutes ago when I just received the message that Gomez was injured, I was angry. He was linked with, but he went on loan to Juventus. Okay, I have no idea with that one. I think there's a point that talks about your team. After in Liverpool, we are talking about your team. That's when you can bring all your few Jones jokes, and we talk about that one as much as we can. Do you think Liverpool they can still retain their title with all those players who have went out? Virgil van Dijk is not coming back. Joe Gomez, as much as we have not received as much information as we want, I don't think he'll be coming back anytime soon. So in other words, that we have to say that Liverpool has our main centre back this season is Matip, and that creeps me out. That scares me a lot. How do you have Matip as a centre back? The guy, he has played 3 games in the last 3 months. 3 games. I don't want to lie to you. I'm trying to look for hope, but I don't see anything coming from my team. I'm trying to look for hope, but I don't see anything coming from my team. I know they're going to fight. There are some games that they're going to win, but to get something like win something, that is just out of reach. That is a fact. I know that we have been enjoying the performance in terms of players like Diego Jota. He has been amazing. Talking about signings, Mr. Elliott, Jota is one man who has come and turned the Premier League around. He has come and turned the Premier League around. And also, Thiago, we are still waiting to see him after the Everton fight that we got when we played against Everton. I think I have to say that since Liverpool played Everton, that was our turning moment. Things just went wrong from there. Things have not been so good since then. So, we'll see. We will definitely see. It seems like people are interested in talking about Manchester United. So, I've cried already about Liverpool. I'll always make a video about it if I have to. But let's move on to what can we expect from Manchester United is the next, because we just don't know now. That is my honest opinion there. I just don't know what to expect from United at all. Mr. Lewis said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is too nice. Yes. I think that is the reason why a lot of people call Ole a PE teacher. I have no idea how that goes in end, but I think that is the truth. He's not telling Ed Woodward and the Glazers the truth about. He's not like what Mourinho used to do. Yeah, let me just answer Mr. Antonio's question there. It seems like you've said something about Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool attack will outscore their opponents, but not all of them. Not all of them. I don't think we'll outscore all of our opponents. That's just the fact. I don't think that all of them will be outscored. That is the situation that makes me worry a lot. I don't know if you remember, but I said a few months ago that Liverpool needs exactly. You did say this centre back to retain the league. Don't want to brag, but I did not. You did not know how right you would be. Mr. Yes, by the way, guys, Mr. Elliot has been there for us since the times before even the Premier League started. And in those days, we were still talking about the players who were coming, right? Who were being signed by clubs, if I remember too well, Mr. Elliot. And yes, you did talk about Liverpool bringing at least a centre back just as cover for since Lovren had left. And Klopp was so ignorant. He was so ignorant about this situation. I did. You know what happened with me? As much as I was angry that we had not signed anybody, we all got close. We were all fooled by the signing of Thiago and Jota that we forgot that we needed help at the back. We needed help at the back. And now that we're in this situation, now we can only cry blaming ourselves. And we knew how serious this season was going to be. We knew how tight the games were going to be. But we still didn't prepare ourselves so well, even in the defensive situation. And now we are in trouble. Gomez out, Virgil van Dijk out. Mate, I think Man United will win the league. Out of all, I don't think United will win the league. You can either say Tottenham or anything. But I get what you're saying, Mr. Lewis. I get what you're saying exactly. That with all these players out, we are actually worse than most of the teams that have been worse since this season started. Liverpool, we are actually at a place where we are more in trouble than we have ever been. I don't know. Can the Premier League allow us to at least sign a centre back who's like free right now? Can they allow us to sign? Because I noticed that if you noticed it in the La Liga, where Barcelona were in shortage of strikers, they were allowed by La Liga to sign one striker, and he did come and he actually did provide change into the team. Are we as a club, are we allowed to do so in the Premier League? I'm really curious to find out, because if Liverpool we continue with the young stars behind us, Fabinho, we're still not sure if he's coming back from the injury. We just know that Thiago Alcantara is now fit. That is a fact. That has been actually been said that he is now fit. At the same time, what we've been told is this: what Fabinho's still out, so just don't know exactly. I'm the new man in town. Okay, really? Okay, now I'll take that, Mr. Lewis. Let's see. If Man United got rid of everyone and just has Phil Jones and Lingard on the pitch, and then brought a Mark Noble, the West Ham, and would win the league and the Champions League for sure. Mark Noble plays as what? Yeah, I think I know him. I'm not really sure about that. Elliot, I will accept your 80 pound due. I love this. I love this rivalry that is forming this side, guys. I love it a lot. But anyway, that is just it about Liverpool. Please don't forget to like. If you are joining us, subscribe to the channel. That is the best way you support us here. And do you want the cheese sandwich or cheese sandwich as well? So let's move on to the next point. And it's none other than the Jesse Lingard and Phil Jones team, Manchester United. What is wrong with Manchester United, people? What is definitely wrong with Manchester United? He is just as good as defending as... Yeah, it's a problem. I see that. I see you are really enjoying yourself with these guys. Like I was just saying, Mr. Anthony, these guys are really challenging each other very, very well. Yeah, throw that in plus a Coke, a can of Coke. Anyway, so what can we say about United? United, we're moving so well. We're moving so well. After the loss, they played against Newcastle, they won. They played against, which other team did they play? And they drew, I think. They drew against Chelsea, yes. Then they played PSG in the Champions League. They beat them by 2-1. played Leipzig, embarrassed them by scoring them 5 goals to 0. Then they came home to Arsenal. They were beaten by penalty by Aubameyang, like his first shot on target since after a lot of games. That's how that happened. And we thought that that was going to change because they were now going to play the smallest team in the Champions League. And they had to be humbled by a team that people don't even know their name. What is it called? Is it Istanbul or Istanbul, something like that? So I just don't know. I just don't know what to expect from your team. I just don't know what to expect from United. Bruno Fernandes played against Everton. That was an amazing game. That was an amazing game. There was something that had changed in your team. But you just don't know what comes from your team now. You just don't know what to expect from United. That is just a fact. And I just don't know what we are going to see. Let me read your comments a little bit. Throw in a tin of coffee, a dew. You can draft. Wow. I'm finding this line of the. Could you replace Coke with a sheet of A4 paper? And there will be no better than that. Wow. You guys are serious. So, by the way, guys, like I'm saying, Mr. Lewis, what do you think has to happen to your team for us to actually be calm to believe that your team can produce something united? What do you think has to be done? Do you think you need Pochettino? Or you still need to keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? When you keep Ole, he gets the players he wants. If he gets the players he wants, maybe, just maybe, you might get the results you are looking for. Because it's been crazy. I just don't understand what's happening to United. And why would you buy a player and never use him? Donny van der Beek is actually struggling to get game time. And I love the fact that you have now made Pogba a super sub now this season. Paul Pogba is now a super season. Aubameyang has been awful since signing his new contract. That's how it is. Maybe it's because he's now the most highest paid player in the Premier League. That's why maybe Aubameyang has been so awful. Yeah. A centre back, who does he replace? Like for United, who does he replace? Maguire or Lindelof? At the same time, a midfielder. Which type of a midfielder do you want? Because Fred, in terms of working hard for your team, he does that sometimes. McTominay as a holding midfielder, or who else? What is it? What is that guy's name? They do that as well. They do work so hard for you guys. Bruno Fernandes, when things are okay for him, he does produce amazing passes for your team. So who exactly do you think you need? Seriously, the board have never given the manager the player they want, and the Manchester United they spend a lot. The players are not the ones the manager wants. Yeah, that's true. I think Donny van der Beek, Solskjaer was not interested in him. Even Edison Cavani, I don't think he was interested in him. But the board looked for the cheapest place to buy players, and they bought those two. And now you didn't get that Sancho. Do you remember? I think Mr. Elliot, you can remember this. How noisy it was about Sancho going to United. And I think if he had went to United, he was going to change something. But you did. It's Matic. Matic sometimes does do that as well. I'm enjoying that this guy is now coming back into the game. Mata is now coming back into the game. That has been amazing. I've been so impressed with the way he's been playing. He's now coming back into the game. So I just don't know what happens with you. It's like you lose focus, or sometimes it's like you have your days. As one thing that I had, I think all of you know this guy by the name of Terry for Football Terrace. I think all know him. He talked about that United struggles a lot with the teams that defends from like that defense deep. It seems like you play so well with teams that you hit on counter attacks. Example, Leipzig, you were able to decimate them because you were actually able to hit them on counter attack. So I just don't know what can he do. Maybe it's the tactics that Oli is using that are just not working for the team, or what. Remember, you still have a player in Alex Telles that we haven't seen, but he has already proven that he can be a good player. I just don't know what's missing with your team. Let's see. Let me read your comments. Mr. Elliot is saying that, for example, this year, Solskjaer wanted Grealish, Upamecano, and Sancho. He got Cavani, Van der Beek, and Alex Telles. Let's just say Alex Telles. Yeah, the board is a problem. The board is a problem, especially. And why is that? While United is one of the richest clubs in the Premier League, right? Where's the money going? Where's the money going? That is my question. Where is the money going? Um, that's not bad, but not what the manager wanted. Yes, that is true. I don't think Cavani could be a replacement to Sancho. Could have been and also Van der Beek. As much as maybe we have not seen the best of Van der Beek, but in terms of Grealish and Van der Beek, comparing them, Grealish has been amazing. Grealish has been amazing. So you just don't know. You just don't know. There is a lot of to talk about Sancho, but the same thing always happens at Manchester United. Mourinho wanted a centre back so much, and they gave him Ibrahimovic. Ibra is not bad, but he was not what was needed. Yes, so I think we have that is exactly the problem. United, there is a problem that they actually there is a problem that we all know that they need to solve, but they are not solving the problem. They are going to attend something that is different. That's exactly what is exactly what is this situation. That's exactly when you. In other words, what you are saying is this: when they need a centre back, they are bringing a striker. When they need a striker, they bring what, a centre back or midfielder. They're just not attending the problem, and it's not because of the manager. It's because of the board. It's because of Ed Woodward. He's one person who's causing havoc to the team. Maybe you might not know. Maybe he's a Liverpool supporter. I'm just making a joke. See you later, Lewis. Stay safe. Oh, somebody's going out now. Oh, oh, I didn't see Mr. Lewis' message that you were saying is going out. Oh, I didn't see what's going. Okay. Thanks, Mr. Lewis. We'll see you very, very soon. I think we are also done with your team, as we have noticed. That's the problem. Okay, let me read another comment here. Uh, the board doesn't want to win. They want top four because that makes the most sense for money. Whenever they get top four, they don't spend, and when they get below, they spend a lot. So, in other words, are we saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did more than he was supposed to do? Goodbye, Mr. Lewis. You can always check it. You can always check it back. Maybe just do some rerun. But do me a favor before you go, Mr. Lewis. Please, can you share this video on your social medias somewhere so that we get more people? Remember, we want to grow. We want to grow as a channel. So do me that. That'll be so amazing. Just share it on your social media and try to invite some couple of people to come and watch some interesting stories we're covering today. Okay. This year they got Champions League and they did not spend money. So in other words, that we have to actually blame only that he achieved a lot, which is now costing him now in getting the players he needs. Is that it? So that's a problem. They need to deal with that situation, because if it continues, then they're not going to get anything. They will definitely won't get anything as a club, and they'll go nowhere. Anyway, let's move on to the next point. We are almost done with our points, right? Chelsea are slowly but surely winning their supporters' trust. There is a team in Chelsea. I'm okay with them. We did beat them the first time, so maybe by the time when they come to Enfield would have actually prepared something. But the Chelsea guys, What did you think of their performance? How has they been for you? Because it seems like they're performing so well. So Sosha got third. He could not have got any higher with the team, so he is not a bad manager, but he won't beat City or Liverpool without investment. That is 100% true. If they don't solve their problems, they will never beat teams like. Now I think he can beat Liverpool, especially without defenders. But a fully forced Liverpool, or let me say a last year or a year before Liverpool, we were strong. We were strong 100%. But anyway, to everyone watching, like and subscribe. This guy works really, really hard. Thank you very much, Mr. Elliot. Thank you very much for that. But that is just the truth. That is just the truth. We have to wait and see what happens. We just have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, yeah, Chelsea have been decent since Mendy and Thiago Silva and Chua. But that is just the funny thing about it. Let me tell you, I don't wanna lie. As much as I've been impressed by their victory and the way they're playing, they haven't played a bigger team. You see? That's why I'm still at that situation. They have not yet played a bigger team. People still forget that they've played a Burnley. They've played what? That team in the Champions League. They've played Sheffield. They've played some teams that are not really competitive at the moment. I want to see how that defense will stand when they play maybe. I can't say Manchester City, they've been bad. Let me say when they play a Tottenham team. Because Tottenham seems like their front three are firing a lot. I want to see how that defense stands when they play a Tottenham team. That will be very, very interesting to see what happens. When they play Tottenham, how are they going to perform and where would they go? That will be the interesting thing. I want to see how that team, their defense survive there. But if they're able to survive there, then they'll be good. I really like Chilwell, but 50 million was a lot. Maybe he just got me liking to spend money because I'm a Spurs fan though. Yeah, that is true. I felt like the money was a lot. And one thing we need to remember here, Chelsea were just interested in spending as much money as they can. They spend a lot of money this season. We cannot deny that. They spend a lot of money this season. A lot of money. So maybe that could be the reason, but we have to wait and see. We have to definitely wait and see. But we are playing Tottenham. We are playing Tottenham in the next few league games. Also, you are playing Chelsea. Okay, I did say that. Yes, I want to see that. Because as much as Chelsea has been against a team like United, they could not do anything. Arsenal managed to do something against United. They could not do anything. That's where I'm still having my question marks, and I want to see how they're going to do when they play a team that will actually challenge them behind and in the middle as well. That's when I'll actually judge them. That will be a good test. Yes, that will be a good test for both of you, by the way, for both the clubs. But you have already passed some big teams and you have passed the test. Which big team did Tottenham play with this season? I'm not really sure. I'm trying to remember some teams. Oh, you are playing Manchester City this week, right? I'm going to say goodbye because my phone is on 4% and it will be running out in any minute. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Anthony. Thank you very much for being there. I really appreciate your support, guys. It means a lot. It gives me the energy to come back this time because to tell you the truth, I was like I remember I had to do the watch along and I was like I have to come back and do at least something. Let me do the show that I was planning to do on Tuesday today, just because of you. I'd missed something that I promised to do, and I had to come back with something. That's where this idea of the Premier League show came with. It was already there, the idea, but I just had to do it today, just because of you. So tomorrow I'll be doing I want to do the La Liga show. Just talk about some big teams there, just make some fun and just pass by a little bit. We don't watch as much La Liga as we do, but we look at some big teams, Barcelona and Real Madrid. So that's, you can check that one out. Thank you very much, Mr. Antonio. Thank you. Have you ever watched Ali Golden YouTuber? He's a Tottenham journalist and he has changed my views on Tottenham and talks about football in general. Oh, I've never. I think I will have to check him out and see what he and listen to him a little bit so that I hear what he talks about. Yes, what has he said? Yes, your big your biggest test has been Manchester United. Like for real. That is crazy. That is crazy. Because you destroyed them by 6. Or let's just say maybe your biggest game. Not biggest test. Because I think it was an exercise. At the end of the day, it became an exercise for you. You made the Bruno Fernandes or Fernandes or whatever they call him. They call him Fernandes or something like that. To look like a young boy. It was fun to watch. It was really funny to watch. Anyway, let me just talk about the last point before I disappear. Sheffield. Sheffield last season. To be honest, West Brom was probably the hardest game. You know why? Because West Brom was playing Jose Mourinho type of football. The Jose Mourinho at United, not the one at Tottenham. Yeah, Manchester United. Yeah, you make them look so abnormal. They were embarrassed with what was happening. Talking about West Brom, they were playing negative footballs. They were just defending, just trying to frustrate you guys. But your main Kane came out in the end and took a win. That was amazing to see. I was really impressed with Harry Kane on that game. And he has been impressive since this season started. In fact, I'm actually rating that he's going to get the highest goal scorers of this season. I feel like he's going to do that. That is for sure. I feel like he's going to do that. Anyway, Sheffield. Sheffield came with that vibe that they offer the Premier League, looking like they are going to be the team to beat this season. But guess what? They've been the team to be beaten this season. They've been beaten a lot. And sorry for saying this, but I feel like they're going to be relegated. I feel like Sheffield are going to be relegated in terms of their performance. Let me change my screen so that I show you something here. In terms of all the teams we were talking about today. Leicester City and Tottenham. This was how it finished in 2016, if you remember. Like I said, Leicester was number 1 and Tottenham was number 2. Number 3 was Arsenal, but they've been, it's crazy, right? Liverpool, the draws, I don't want to talk about it. Southampton, they broke history. They were on the top of the league for the first time since 1998. You can check that. Is it 1988? I think they said 1988. You can check it there. The history is there. That was history that was being made. Chelsea. Yeah, something's coming out. Hakim Ziyech. He has been crazy for me. That is the player that I've watched so well, and he looks like it's going to be dangerous. They beat Burnley. You see the team that they played with. The team that they were drawing with was United. Southampton, they drew with Southampton. So this is why I'm saying that in terms of looking at this team, I still feel like they still have to play more teams to see where they are in terms of Chelsea. Aston Villa, they're becoming so good in beating some big teams, in embarrassing big teams. Let's see which team we're Everton. Can you believe they now have a hat trick of losses? Premier League can kill a person. Manchester City, they are going with their draws and losses. Arsenal, look at this. And now look at Sheffield. This is what I'm worried about. Look, they haven't won any game, even games that you expect them to win last season. They're failing to do so. And I feel like they're going to be relegated. That is just a fact. Who's your favorite player of all time, and who's your favorite player right now? All-time favorite in the Premier League, or what? Like my all-time favorite in the Premier League. I'm waiting to hear that. Oh, you're just saying worldwide, just talking about all the players all over. And right now, wow, there are a lot of players that I like a lot. There are a lot of players I like a lot. I think West Brom, Fulham, and West Brom, Fulham, and don't you think? You mean West Ham or what? I think just favorite players to have who have ever entered. Okay. My all-time favorite player for me, it was Ronaldinho. I loved that man a lot. The way the guy would play football while laughing at players, while passing them like that. He's just standing there. That guy was amazing to watch. He was just amazing to watch. And I think he will still ever be my favorite player. In terms of right now, it's funny right now. I definitely have not been paying that much attention. But if I have to pick some favorite players that I love, a lot of them are going to come out from my team because they have fought for me. Virgil van Dijk is out. He has been my favorite player for such a long time. Oh, Messi. I loved Messi. Ronaldo. It's weird how could I love rivalries, but I love those two. But in terms of picking of the youngsters, the ones who has a future, I think I've been impressed with Haaland. Haaland has been amazing, and I feel like there's still more to come from that kid, and I just love him for that. He's like Harry Kane in a way. I think the Messi is the best ever player, but Ronaldinho was the most talented by far. But he's just so amazing in every aspect. That is true. That is true. Messi, the reason why I love Messi. Oh, by the way, I'm a Barcelona fan. You're gonna hear when I talk tomorrow. The reason why I loved Messi, the guy, if we talk about De Bruyne in terms of passes, but Messi does it on another level, a level that I don't think even De Bruyne has reached. That is why I love, and that's why I respect him as a player. But that's just my thoughts. But in terms of the upcoming now, Haaland, I feel like he has more to offer. And Ansu Fati. Oh my God, how can I forget this kid? He's injured right now. We'll talk about that as well tomorrow. He's injured right now. But Ansu Fati, have you seen the kid? And there's another one that they call Ricky Put. I know he's been loaned right now, but the kid is fire. It's fire. Anyway, I think we have covered everything we needed to cover on the list. We made the talking points, we set them a point list, and we covered them, each and every point that was there. And guys, you can join me tomorrow because I'll be covering the La Liga. I'll be doing the La Liga show, talking about what has been happening, especially with the big clubs. I think that's the best young player. It is Phil Jones. Could be such a great player. In terms of Phil Jones, what I can only say is that he will do himself better if he just walk away, like he just terminates his contract so that he goes maybe play in the MLS, in the USA, where you are not really checked on your talent. That is the best. Oh, I noticed that you're still here. I was wondering why we're still like. Thank you very much for being there, Mr. Anthony. And I hear that show it's 1%. I'll be going off now, guys. We'll meet again tomorrow. Please, thank you very much for being there. And please do me a favor, like I said, share this video on your social media so that more people can come. And don't forget to just like so that more people see this video on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. Meet again on another video, which is tomorrow. I've enjoyed the few Jones and just lingered